Hello and welcome guys, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another Splatoon video. And today's video I'm going to be talking about some of the new Splatoon weapons that we saw in the Nintendo Direct for Splatoon. One thing we learned about in Splatoon is that there are 3 different classes that you can choose from. There is the shooter class, the charger class, and the roller class. We were shown a couple of new weapons that were in the game and a couple of weapons that we've already seen, and I'm going to be going through some of the weapons that we haven't seen yet, which are quite new, and I've kind of seen some differences from how it balances out from the other weapons in the same class. Now in the shooter category, we were shown 4 weapons, 2 of which that we've already seen, such as the splatter shot and the blaster. One of the newer weapons was known as the Aerospray MG, and this weapon consists of you spraying ink at very close range to eliminate your targets. This weapon lacks long range firing, so if you want to hit your targets with this weapon, you need to go up close range with them, because you will most likely succeed. The next newer weapon that we were shown was known as the Jet Scorcher, which is able to shoot your targets at very long ranges. This weapon is able to snipe down your enemies at much longer ranges, much longer than the Aerospray MG. One thing that you have to be careful with this weapon is that your movement speed when you're shooting is much slower than the other weapons in the shooter class, so you've got to be very careful of when you're shooting and how you're going to use this gun. Moving on to the charger category, we were already shown the Splat Charger, which is a weapon where you have to hold the shoot button in order to shoot somebody. We were shown 2 newer weapons in this category, such as the E-Liter 3K, which is a splat charger that takes a longer amount of time but is able to shoot at further distances. We were also shown the Splatter Scope, which is a splat charger which allows you to shoot your enemies through a scope, which makes it easier for you guys to hit your enemies. This meaning 360 ladder shot YY fakey ladder shot no scope can be a thing. Lastly, we were moving on to the roller class, which we were shown already the Splat Roller and the Paintbrush. The next weapon that we were shown was known as the Dynamo Roller, which is a much larger splat roller, and it's able to spread larger amounts of ink pretty much everywhere. The pullback with this weapon is that you are much slower, and it makes it much harder to pull out a melee attack, as it takes a couple seconds to throw down your roller. Those were all the newer main weapons that we saw in Splatoon's Direct. We were shown a huge amount of sub-weapons, which I'm going to quickly go through. The sub-weapons consist of small projectiles to affect your enemies or to spread more ink around the turf. The new sub-weapons that we were shown in the Nintendo Direct were the Seeker, which is a small homing device which will home onto your enemies, the Suction Bomb, which is a splat bomb which is able to stick onto walls and flooring, the Burst Bomb, which is a much quicker version of the Splat Bomb, but it destroys on impact and doesn't do as much damage, the Point Sensor, which is able to detect the location of nearby enemies, the Ink Mine, which is a device that will detonate when an enemy walks over it, a Squid Beacon that allows your teammates to teleport to certain locations which you choose. If you notice with the Squid Beacon, these can only be used once a life because they are destroyed once a teammate teleports to this location. And the Disruptor that can affect your enemy's Inkling abilities. We were also shown some of the new special weapons that are inside the game. Some of the weapons that we were already shown was known as the Ink Zuka, the Killer Whale, the Ink Strike, and the Bubbler, which I didn't go too much in depth with since I last talked about it. With this special weapon, it'll be able to deflect your enemy's ink, and it'll allow you to give shields to your other teammates. The newer weapons that we were shown were the Ecolator, which allows you to see where all the other enemy Inklings are on the map, and the Kraken. With this special weapon, it'll change you into a large rogue invisible squid, which will be able to destroy your enemy Inklings on impact. So those were all the newer weapons that were shown so far in Splatoon's Nintendo Direct. I'm now going to be going through some of the stages and game types that were confirmed for Splatoon. At the moment for stages, we only have 5 of them, such as Urchin Underpass, Salt Spray Rig, Woolly Warehouse, Blackberry Skate Park, and Arowana Mall. We were informed that there are going to be future stage updates for Splatoon. As Nintendo hinted, there most likely will be 6 more, as the question marks go by. We were also shown that in these updates there are going to be new game types, one of them being in the ranked battle category known as Tower Control, which is where you have to stand on a moving tower to push towards the enemy's base. If you guys have played TF2 or Team Fortress 2, you will probably recognize this type of game type. I haven't really played Team Fortress 2 because, well, I've never actually played it in my life, to be honest, but this may be familiar to you. We were then hinted that there's going to be a 3rd type in ranked battles known as Rainmaker, and they didn't specify what this game type may be, but what I think this game type might be is that you have to shoot a fish, possibly to make it rain on like the other team's like base or something like that, or maybe like you have to shoot like the fish to fill up a jar or something like that. I'm not really too sure what this game type could lead to, so I'm not going to continue to comment. And those are pretty much all the newest stuff that we were shown for multiplayer. So far, the multiplayer for Splatoon is looking really good, and I can't wait to play this game. Definitely going to be playing the demo, so I'm going to be making some videos of that, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. So please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous, and as always guys, this has been ThatSrb2DUDE, and I shall see you guys in a future video.